rudder. No sleep fell on his eyes. He watched the stars, the Pleiades, late-setting Boades, and Bear, which people also call the Plough, which circles in one place and marks Orion, the only star that has no share of ocean. Calypso, queen of goddesses, had told him to keep the Bear on his left side while sailing. He sailed the sea for 7 days and 10, and on the 18th day a murky mountain of the Phaeacian land appeared. It rose up like a shield beyond the misty sea. Returning from the Ethiopians and pausing on Mount Solima, Poseidon, master of earthquakes, saw the distant raft. Enraged, he shook his head and told himself, "This is outrageous! So it seems the gods have changed their plans about Odysseus while I was absent. He has almost reached Phaeacia, where it is his destiny to flee the rope of pain that binds him now. But I will goad him to more misery, till he is sick of it." He gathered up the clouds, and seized his trident and stirred round the sea and roused the gusts of every wind and covered earth and sea with fog. Night stretched from heaven. Eurus, Notus, blasting Zephyr, and Boreas, the child of sky, all fell and rolled a mighty wave. Odysseus grew weak at knees. He cried out in despair, "More pain? How will it end? I am afraid the goddess spoke the truth, that I will have a sea of sufferings before I reach my homeland. It is coming true. Zeus whirls the air. Look at those clouds. He agitates the waves, and winds attack from all directions. I can hold on to one thing, certain death. Those Greeks were lucky, 3 and 4 times over who died upon the plain of Troy to help the sons of Atreus. I wish I had died that same day the massive Trojans hurled their bronze-tipped spears at me around the corpse of Peleus' son. I would have had a funeral and honor from the Greeks, but now I have to die this cruel death." A wave crashed onto him and overturned the raft, and he fell out. The rudder slipped out of his hands. The winds blew all directions, and one enormous gust snapped off the mast. The sail and yardarm drifted out to sea. Then for a long time rushing, crashing waves kept him submerged. He could not reach the surface. The clothes Calypso gave him weighed him down. At last he rose and spat the sour salt water out of his mouth. It gushed forth in a torrent. Despite his pain and weakness, he remembered his raft and lunged to get it through the waves. He climbed on top of it and clung to life. The great waves carried it this way and that. As when the thistles, clumping close together, are borne across the prairie by the north wind, so these winds swept the raft across the sea. The south wind hurls it, then the north wind grabs it, then east wind yields and lets the west wind drive it. But stepping softly, Ino, the white goddess, Cadmus's child, once human, human-voiced, now honored with the gods in salty depths, noticed that he was suffering and lost with pity. Like a gull with wings outstretched, she rose up from the sea, sat on the raft, and said, "Poor man, why does enraged Poseidon create an Odyssey of pain for you? But his hostility will not destroy you. You seem intelligent. Do as I say. Strip off your clothes and leave the raft behind for winds to take away. With just your arms, swim to Phaeacia. Fate decrees that there you will survive. Here, take my scarf and tie it under your chest. With this immortal veil, you need not be afraid of death or danger. But when you reach dry earth, untie the scarf and throw it out to sea away from land and turn away." With that, the goddess gave it and plunged back down inside the surging sea, just like a gull. The black wave covered her. The hero who had suffered so much danger was troubled and confused. He asked himself, "Some deity has said to leave the raft, but what if gods are weaving tricks again? I will not trust her yet. With my own eyes I saw the land she said I should escape to, and it is far away. I will do this. As long as these wood timbers hold together, I will hang on, however hard it is. But when the waves have smashed my raft to pieces, then I will have no choice, and I will swim." While he was thinking this, the lord of earthquakes, Poseidon, roused a huge and dreadful wave that arched above his head. He hurled it at him. As when a fierce wind ruffles up a heap of dry wheat chaff, it scatters here and there, so were the raft's long timbers flung apart. He climbed astride a plank and rode along as if on horseback. He took off the clothes Calypso gave him, but he tied the scarf around his chest and dove into the sea, spreading his arms to swim. The lord of earthquakes saw him and nodded, muttering, "At last you are in pain. Go drift across the sea till you meet people blessed by Zeus, the Sky Lord. But even then I think you will not lack for suffering." He spurred his fine-maned horses and went to Aegae, where he had his home. Athena, child of Zeus, devised a plan. She blocked the path of all the other winds, told them to cease, and made them go to sleep. but roused swift Boreas and smoothed the waves in front of him so that Odysseus could reach Phaeacia and escape from death. 2 days and nights he drifted on the waves. Each moment he expected he would die. But when the dawn with dazzling braids brought day for the 3rd time, the wind died down. No breeze, but total calm. As he was lifted up by an enormous wave, he scanned around and saw the shore nearby. As when a father lies sick and weak for many days, tormented by some cruel spirit, till at last the gods restore him back to life, his children feel great joy. Odysseus felt that same joy when he saw land. He swam and longed to set his feet on earth. But when he was in earshot, he heard the boom of surf against the rocks. The mighty waves were crashing on the shore, a dreadful belching. Everything was covered in salty foam. There were no sheltering harbors for ships, just sheer crags, reefs, and solid cliffs. Odysseus's heart and legs gave way. Shaken, but purposeful, he told himself. Zeus went beyond my hopes and let me see dry land. I made it, cutting the abyss. But I see no way out from this gray sea. There are steep cliffs offshore, and all around the rushing water roars. The rock runs sheer. The sea is deep near shore. There is no way to set my feet on land without disaster. If I attempt to scramble out, a wave will seize and dash me on the jagged rock, a useless effort. But if I swim on farther, looking for bays or coves or slanting beaches, storm winds may seize me once again and drag me, howling with grief, towards the fish-filled sea. A god may even send a great sea monster, the kind that famous Amphitrite rears. I know Poseidon wants to do me harm. As he was thinking this, the waves grew big and hurled him at the craggy shore. His skin would have been ripped away and his bones smashed had not Athena given him a thought. He grabbed a rock as he was swept along with both hands and clung to it, groaning till the wave passed by. But then the swell rushed back and struck him hard and hurled him out to sea. As when an octopus, dragged from its den, has many pebbles sticking to its suckers, so his strong hands were skinned against the rocks. A mighty wave rolled over him again. He would have died too soon in misery without the inspiration of Athena. He came up from the wave that spewed to shore and swam towards the land in search of beaches with gradual slopes or inlets from the sea. He swam until he reached a river's mouth with gentle waters. That place seemed ideal, smooth and not stony, sheltered from the wind. He sensed its current. In his heart he prayed. Unknown God, hear me. How I longed for you. I have escaped the salt sea and Poseidon. Even the deathless gods respect a man who is as lost as I am now. I have gone through so much and reached your flowing streams. Pity me, Lord. I am your supplicant. The current ceased. The river god restrained the waves and made them calm. He brought him safe into the river mouth. His legs cramped up. The sea had broken him. His swollen body gushed brine from mouth and nostrils. There he lay, winded and silent, hardly fit to move. A terrible exhaustion overcame him. When he could breathe and think again, he took the goddess's scarf off and let it go into the river, flowing to the sea. Strong currents swept it down, and Ino's hands took it. He crawled on land and crouched beside the reeds and bent to kiss life-giving earth, and trembling, he spoke to his own heart. What now? What will become of me? If I stay up all wretched night beside this river, the cruel frost and gentle dew together may finish me. My life is thin with weakness. At dawn, a cold breeze blows beside the river. But if I climb the slope to those dark woods and go to rest in that thick undergrowth, letting sweet sleep take hold of me and losing my cold and weariness, wild beasts may find me and treat me as their prey. But he decided to go into the woods. He found a place beside a clearing, near the water's edge. He crawled beneath 2 bushes grown together of thorn and olive. No strong wet wind could blow through them, no shining sunbeam ever strike them, no rain could penetrate them, they were growing so thickly intertwined. Odysseus crept under, and he scraped a bed together of leaves. They were enough to cover 2 against the worst of winter. Seeing this, the hero who had suffered for so long was happy. He lay down inside and heaped more leaves on top. As when a man who lives out on a lonely farm that has no neighbors buries a glowing torch inside black embers to save the seed of fire and keep a source, so was Odysseus concealed in leaves. Athena poured down sleep to shut his eyes so all his painful weariness could end. Book 6. A Princess and Her Laundry. Odysseus had suffered. In exhaustion from all his long ordeals, the hero slept. Meanwhile, Athena went to the Phaeacians. This people used to live in Hyperia, a land of dancing. But their mighty neighbors, the Cyclopes, kept looting them, and they could not hold out. Their king, Nausithous, brought them to Scheria, a distant place, and built a wall around the town, and homes, and temples to the gods, and plots of land. He went to Hades. Then Alcinous, who had God-given wisdom, came to power. Bright-eyed Athena traveled to his palace to help Odysseus' journey home. She went inside the decorated bedroom where the young princess Nausicaa was sleeping, as lovely as a goddess. Slaves were sleeping outside her doorway, one on either side, 2 charming girls with all the Grace's gifts. The shining doors were shut, but like the wind, the goddess reached the bed of Nausicaa, disguised as her best friend, a girl her age, the daughter of the famous sailor Dymas. Sharp-eyed Athena said, "Oh, Nausicaa, so lazy! But your mother should have taught you. Your clothes are lying there in dirty heaps, though you will soon be married and you need a pretty dress to wear and clothes to give to all your bridesmaids. That impresses people and makes the parents happy. When day comes, we have to do the laundry. I will come and help you, so the work will soon be done. Surely you will not long